Corney Barrow is a fabulous wholesaler for very simple reasons. They have a moral point of view on human relations and commercial relations, which makes that they have a profound understanding and affectionate relations with their client, because everyone can trust others. And now I can say that quite 40 years after, our relation is profound and excellent. C'est ça l'histoire, c'est vrai?
Well, our relationship with Corney Barrow goes back many years and multiple generations. And I think the most important is the loyalty, the risk that Corney Barrow took in the 70s to actually import and distribute wines which are Merlot-based. That's different grape variety from the Cabernet Sauvignon that was enjoyed mainly in England at the time. And since then, it's more a family relationship than a business relationship.
The influence of Corney Barrow in Dominio de Pingus and Chateau Rocheron and other projects that I've been doing is primordial. I mean, if it wasn't for Corney Barrow, I'm pretty sure that we would not be where we are right now. So I cannot say high enough praise for Corney Barrow.
At Corney Barrow, our passion for wines is everything. We are lucky enough to work with some of the best wines in the world, and the ability to translate that enthusiasm and that desire for those wines to the end customer, the end consumer who is going to enjoy those wines is something which we really pride ourselves on.
We have been working with many of our producers for years, sometimes decades, and it's so rewarding to see that development, the development of the relationship, how it moves with time, how much more confident that these producers become, the confidence that they have in us, and the way in which they interact with our customers, which is it's fundamental to the way we work.
The company's core values are independence, relationship, spirit, or élan as the French call it, it's a much better word, excellence, and the most expensive word in company literature, integrity. And what's interesting is these values came to us from the team rather than being imposed by management, which happens in so many other companies. And it's interesting that the Royal Warrants, which also determine the way that we conduct our business, are almost exactly the same as the core values that the company represents.
Exclusive and exclusivities are really at the sort of bedrock of what we do as a company. We want to be the only people to bring a wine in to the country, and that will include England, Scotland, Hong Kong, Shanghai, Singapore. But we want to be able to be that direct intermediary and bring the producer and the customer closer together so that everyone can enjoy the wines, learn about the wines, and just get to drink them.
There is a vast amount of tradition and history to the business. We were the first wine merchant to set up our own broking business, which looked after customer reserves if they decided to sell some of their cases, that from a provenance guarantee point of view, that we were able to look after that.
We have dedicated teams from the south coast to the northern extremities of Scotland, providing dedicated one-to-one care for our customers. We don't just see ourselves as a wine supplier, but actually a business partner.
All of the distribution is done with our own vans. It is so important to get timely and correct distribution to customers, so we aim to offer next day delivery throughout the whole of England and Scotland.
In many ways, Corney Barrow in Scotland and the north of England is the youngest part of the company, but in other ways it's also the oldest. In Ayr we've got the fantastic cellars, all of the tradition that comes with that, and at the same time we've got the cutting edge, very, very modern warehouse in East Kilbride. And then we have fantastic sales offices in Oxenford and Leeds, which takes us into, especially with Leeds, into new areas that we haven't been in before.
Our partnership with Corney Barrow has been in existence for a number of years, and it feels like we're always learning from each other, which is, something we like to do with our productions. We like to inspire people, but I know with our partnership, Corney Barrow inspire us too.
Corney Barrow obviously have a long sort of heritage and history. I think that's one thing that Philharmonia and Corney Barrow sort of complement each other with, is this sort of legacy, history, heritage, but also that sort of forward-facing nature.
I believe the future is bright for Corney and Barrow in Asia. We will continue to take care of the local market, to adapt and provide our services to local wine lovers and to sommeliers. The success will come by adding more producers to our portfolio and definitely expand to new markets where we are not yet present.
Corney Barrow have operated the shop here in Newmarket since the 90s. There's been a wine shop here though for over 100 years, and in that time many trends and fashions have changed. But what we have the pleasure of is working with a fantastic company. Our buying team sources some of the very best wines from around the world, putting some stunning wines on our shelves.
What we love about Corney Barrow is that beyond their very good knowledge about the wine industry in general, it's also about being close to the people they work with, the winemakers. So Corney Barrow understands that and respects that a lot, and that's something we appreciate very much.
Corney Barrow really knows how to look after their clients. Some of the relationships that I've built with the staff at Corney Barrow, many of which have been there over decades of times, are really quite intimate and special. I've had some wonderful times, not only drinking the beautiful wines that Corney Barrow supplies, but also spending time with their winemakers.
The relationship with Corney Barrow is a very old thing for us at Domaine Marquis d'Angerville. I think my father started it in the 60s, so here we are 60 years later. And of course, the relationship has broadened quite a bit since then, because now we have a big leg of that relationship in Asia. So it's a broad, ancient, and very close relationship with a sense of partnership, which I particularly value, because I think it's not a relationship between a supplier and a client. It's more a relationship between two partners trying to make the most of a given vintage.
For me, Corney Barrow is almost part of the family of the La Bruyère family, of my family. It's a family team, it's a family business. We both think long term, and I knew from the beginning that the relationship I have with Corney Barrow is based on the trust. It was natural for me to develop my relationship with Corney Barrow when I discovered that Corney Barrow has a team in Asia. I consider Corney Barrow as part of the family of my cousins in sales.
There's something about the fact that the company has been around for such a long time that actually, we all feel part of something bigger than ourselves. There's a community. And ultimately, it all boils back to feeling part of a family.